We're driving to the Shaolin monastery. There are several in China, while the most famous is located in the Hainan province. But we headed for another one, not far from the city of Chongqing, as on the way, I wanted to get a better look at all of this country's deserted spots off the beaten track. We decided to spend 3 days here in general conditions to live in the cells and to eat and train together with everyone.
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect. When you out of line, you put yourself in check.
So here is the daily timetable for the Shaolin pupils here. What's written here? They get up at 5:30. I can make out that much.
They wake up at 5:30. They wake up, wash their faces, brush their teeth.
What do they do at 6 a.m.?
Morning training.
And at 7:30?
Breakfast.
And then? And afterwards?
This? Tidying. They tidy their room.
And then afterwards?
Kung Fu training.
More training. The second round in a day?
Yep.
And then what?
Rest.
Rest, okay. They have 25 minutes to rest.
Exactly, yeah. And then lunch.
Lunch, okay.
And then they break for a nap. A daytime nap.
Okay, so they sleep a little.
Lessons for
Then their school lessons.
Okay, and then dinner?
And then dinner.
dinner.
Right, dinner.
And then it's back to Kung Fu training.
After dinner, they practice again. Guys, that's the third time in a day. So guys, this will be my cell for the upcoming couple of days. So we're in the storage room. The monks have promised to dress me. Oh, here are some pants. The gorgeous orange Shaolin monk clothing is, of course, only used in performances. In standard life, they train in sportswear. Okay, guys, now I'm ready. Hiya! Oh my God, how are you guys doing that? What the heck are you doing? I'm 40 years old. I mean, I love to run, but in comparison to these guys, I feel like a freaking Kung Fu panda. What the hell? You guys didn't even break a sweat. I mean, between the two of us, it's an average amount of sweat. It's no big deal, but we ran up a slope and at a decent pace too, which is why, although I'm a regular runner, you can hear how I'm breathing. And meanwhile, the guys, I mean, just look at them. They're not even turning red. It's like they're not tired at all. I've got a mind to take off my t-shirt and show the guys what it's really like to be seriously ripped, but I just don't want to embarrass them. I mean, why spoil the atmosphere? We're getting along so well, I think.
So when the master is here, they run like that in single file, and they can't stop at all. So you run there, single file, and that's it.
And if you get out of breath, tough, you pass out. And if you can't run anymore?
What does the master do if someone is really tired? You're better off running, else they'll grab you and go to town on your back. It just beats. Just try not running for him.
Have there been cases then where someone's been beaten so much that they couldn't stand afterwards? That they went to the hospital?
你们以前被打得到你们做不了，很厉害。有吗？
Yeah, they say yes. But that wasn't for running. The running is a piece of cake. You can seriously get it in the neck during almost every training session. But the main thing is not to disrupt the order at the monastery. We once took out some cigarettes, had a smoke. We got a hell of a beating. They said, you'll think twice about smoking here. And they beat everyone.
So he's got scars here. Can we take a look, like, right here? Yeah.
Where are they from? Are the scars on your back from that time? Yes, they are.
Did they hit you with sticks?
Yeah.
So check it out, guys. This scar and all the points here. A scar, here's a scar. They're all from hits. And there's one right here on his head there also.
All my legs were beaten, and my head was pummeled. I've had that many, many times. Yeah, we all get in trouble really often.
他打你们，你哭，他还打吗？
Are you crazy? They come down on you even harder. We have this fragile guy, he's constantly weeping not to be beaten, and they give it to him and then some. They tell him not to weep. He's saying there's a little one among them who constantly cries. They beat him even harder because there's nothing to cry about. Nobody weeps in the monastery. We're not crybabies.
These boys are from the mountain terrains, and this locality is very poor. And this Shaolin monastery takes pupils from the region every year. These guys.
We'd recently decided to take a swim in the river. We were caught and they beat the living daylight out of us all. I almost died that time. Where are you from? Ukraine? Ah, Ukraine. And this guy?
Russia. This boy, although he's 13, he's clearly the leader. He's called Jina Ganju.
I had bad grades in school, back in the village where I grew up, and I used to get in big trouble for it, but I still did bad in school anyway. So one day, monks came to our village and said they were selecting boys from the monastery, and I was the first to volunteer, but my dad said, "You're not going anywhere." I went anyway.
But why did you want to come to the Shaolin?
Well, I just said I was a poor student. I slept in all my lessons.
Do you often get punished here?
Every day, he says. Most often with a ruler to the back of my neck when I fall asleep.
Honestly, this is the first time I've met a person who entered a monastery because they were a poor student, especially when you have to do no less studying in the monastery. Personally, I think this wasn't about studies, but about his father's punishments. But if he came to the monastery and also gets punished like this, I shudder to even think about the type of punishments he ran away from.
We're often made to do the plank as a punishment, more often on our fists, but sometimes on our palms for 2 hours. And they also do this. What do you want to show us?
You can show, yes?
Ah, strikes with a stick?
They get 10 strikes with a stick.
Now that's seriously painful, and we begin to weep. He says they cry. He says it's painful, they cry. But you can't cry here. They come down on you, and then what? You get a beating, you suck it up, or else you get another. There's a crybaby here who often gets it. You're the crybaby.
Naturally, the youngest of the pupils has it hardest of all. He gets kicked around by both the teachers and the pupils. But if you look at him, he's the sharpest one.
Stas.
And what about you?
Xiaolong.
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 Xiaolong. Xiaolong.
The little dragon.
Among other things, the little dragon has children's diabetes and a whole host of illnesses, which is why training for him is also harder than for everyone else.
Need to put their head in water, and
They stick their head in water, and the teacher beats them on their backside.
Oh. And you need to hold your head underwater for 2 minutes while the teacher beats you?
Yeah, if you remove your head and that one, you know what that kid does? He just drinks up all the water.
All of this mockery, of course, sounds terrible if you don't know about the battles these kids endured before they came to the Shaolin. most of the monastery's charges ended up here roughly at the age of 8. And there's no pretty story here. I understand that many of you likely think that it's a great thing to get to be in such a monastery, to learn kung fu and so on. But actually, these guys mostly, not all of them of course, but most of them don't end up here of their own free will. The internet tells scores of romanticized stories about teenagers voluntarily coming to be a kung fu monk. And indeed, there are many like that, but the other stories aren't mentioned at all. The most common story is that parents grow tired of raising their child because they behave like a hooligan, because they fight on the streets and they steal and they break the rules and so on. They come home with poor grades, and the parents themselves work and they have no time for their child, especially when they have many children. And basically, the most poorly behaved in the family is just given away. And not just given away, but given away here, where they're punished. Everyone is aware that children will be beaten at the Shaolin monastery. And obviously, that's exactly what the parents who give their children up want for their kids. You know, on camera and more so off camera, practically all the boys say that they really miss their parents, even those parents who gave them up to the monastery. And even those who used to severely beat them. One of the boys, for example, has a head covered in scars. You see these scars, guys? He picked up these injuries at home, just in case you were thinking, what kind of a hell is it to be in the monastery? Well, the world which these boys fled from to end up at the monastery was also no picnic. The prior arrived today at last, and we have a fully fledged training session with his assistant. Well, I mean, as much as it can be called fully fledged.
The children you've been speaking to over these past few days are from the poorest families in the autonomous county of Yi, located in Sichuan province. There are 2 orphans amongst them, and for them we are their family. Because their aunties and uncles have their own children, 4 to 5 kids. And that's a whole bunch. And put it this way, they took care of them badly, which is why they brought the kids here. We'll help them until they're 18. We'll improve their knowledge of the world, teach them kung fu manners. These are all boys from villages high up in the mountains, and there was no one to teach them there.
How did you come to end up at the Shaolin monastery?
As a child, I really loved kung fu and was very poorly behaved. My parents lived near the southern Shaolin monastery in the Fujian province, or rather, they worked there. And in middle school, my behavior became completely unbearable. I was little, around 13 to 14 years old, and basically, well, yeah, I set out for the Shaolin monastery to study martial arts, to train my body.
So was that your decision or your parents'?
I wanted it, and my parents supported the decision.
This is the monastery prior, but everyone simply calls him Shifu, which in Chinese means teacher. He's 60 years old, and he came to the Shaolin monastery when he was 8.
I first came to the Shaolin monastery in Hainan. That was in the early 70s, when the Shaolin monks were going through difficult times.
Yeah.
All the monks were starving. They were forced to travel downhill to the people and ask them for food. Some would return to their home cities to do business, so to speak.
In the 70s, economic reforms had yet to begin in China, and naturally, what Shifu referred to as business could only have meant something illegal. The Shaolin monks were indeed forced to form into gangs. Many left the country, which for instance gave birth to the largest Singapore triad, Salak Kao, literally meaning 369. This added up to 18, signifying the principal disciples of the Shaolin monastery. It was only in the 80s, when the movie Shaolin Temple starring Jet Li was released, that Kung Fu monks suddenly became renowned over the whole world. And incidentally, that was also the time when CEO monk Shi Young-sin took charge of the Shaolin.
It goes without saying, martial arts has significantly changed over the years. Initially, when Kung Fu was in its infancy, there was a lethal intent to it. Skills to kill someone. But now they're disappearing.
Really?
The laws have become stricter, which is why Kung Fu is changing. I'd say to focus on fitness and promoting health. Kung Fu has taken on a different meaning. Initially, of course, Kung Fu was invented to destroy your enemies. Traditionally, there are two fundamental schools of Shaolin, the northern and southern schools. We say the northern legs and the southern fists. Simply because in the south and the coastal area, the monks had to face off against pirates on the water more, and in those situations, your fists are better suited. Meanwhile, leg strikes developed more in the north. To be fair, these schools are actually very similar. The differences lie in how you administer your strength, how you seek balance. It's only in China and Shaolin monasteries that you have both civilian and warrior monks. For example, a monk who sits every day meditating, reading sutras until his legs and feet go numb, they'd have to take a break to relax their muscles, bones, joints. And gradually, these movements shaped into Shaolin Kung Fu.
Nowadays, the Shaolin monks have a very popular show which they perform, and you're also very popular on Chinese TikTok, am I right?
Yes, I promote my videos on TikTok and other social medias. It really helps.
And I bet you get a lot of views. You have a big audience?
Many people watch my videos for sure, because Shaolin Kung Fu is very popular all over the world. Since ancient times, there has been a generation before Shaolin Kung Fu, which is why people subscribe.
What do people watch most? I'm guessing people like it when the monks demonstrate their rock-hard bones, when they break something with their bare hands.
Now any Shaolin Kung Fu performance gathers hype. Some like it when we break things or demonstrate our strength, our endurance, or just some flashy techniques. Each viewer favors different things.
So that we also get our dose of hype, Shifu has put together a flashy number for us. He's brought us to the most scenic spot in the monastery because scenery is important. In case of a bad shot, we've got another take, but to be fair, this wasn't the best one. Oh, that's full on. That's for real.
Wow. Holy smokes. He says try it out.
Okay.
Here, take it.
Oh, ow. Oh.
Ah, jeez, the way it hits you. No, Jesus.
How do you practice for that?
How do you practice for this? How do you learn this?
You need at least 3 years of practice to do this. The key here is to learn how to breathe, to focus on breathing from the bottom up and into your head. And you need to train your skin and bones not to feel pain. But most importantly, you need to learn to redirect your breathing and energy around your body.
Shaolin monks make their fingers rock hard so that they can use them to shatter anything and everything.
Every monk chooses a discipline and trains in it. I'm training for a stone head. Some train for a stone finger. There are a total of more than 70 such teachings in Kung Fu.
But I'm confused. I mean, from a purely physical standpoint, iron is stronger than bones. How can you make bones stronger than iron just by breathing?
You're forgetting about energy. Energy is stronger than iron. Okay, I want to try breaking it too. Only with my hands, not my head. I did it. Damn, it wasn't easy, but I broke it.
No. It's not breaking. Guys, I can't break it.
I'll try to do a shorter one. Damn it.
All right. Don't torture yourself. Petya broke the long one. The shorter one is harder to snap. Well, technically, he broke the longest one, but with his head. Jeez. So, basically, the iron plank isn't strong iron. I don't know. It's not like a steel rod. It can break, but it's not exactly some showpiece made of paper either.
Serious.
Oh, I'm terrified because I know it's gonna hurt. Okay. No. It's not breaking one bit. I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Is it a magic trick or genuine kung fu? "1 p.m. Quiet time. Almost the entire monastery is asleep. Only a couple of priors remain at the altar, as well as tourists pacing around the Shaolin monastery. After all the training, I'm honestly dozing off a little bit. But I want to take you on a small tour of the monastery. So, behind me is the main temple, the altar. This here is the square, the main square on which the monks and pupils perform, but only on special dates. A large chunk of the monastery is occupied by huge viewing platforms which people sneak away to for a moment of solitary contemplation, something the monks often do. Despite the fact that every minute in the monastery is pretty much scheduled, meaning you wake up at 5:30 and then you have something for every half hour onwards, something you need to do. Or you have a quiet hour in which you're supposed to sleep, because if you don't sleep, you simply don't have the strength to go on training. But despite all of that, for some reason, you're always left with some free time, a free 10 to 15 minutes when you can just sit down and think. I wouldn't exactly call it meditation, but basically, you just take a quick walk somewhere. The most exhausting is no doubt the huge number of steps. Here, it's a constant case of up and down, up and down, up and down. And now, just picture what it was like, my friends, to film this shot. I first came down here from up above, set up the camera here, and then went back up, and then back down again, just so that you could see me coming down from above. So, yeah, it's something like that. But that's what there is for a blogger to do in the Shaolin Monastery. So this part of the dining area is constantly empty. Look at how many tables there are. Simply a huge, huge number. Aren't even this many priests or pupils in the Shaolin. I've been told they're for pilgrims, during celebrations, So many people come here that all of these tables are actually filled. So here we have our kitchen. I'm saying our kitchen, although it's theirs, the Shaolin monks' kitchen. So come on, I'll show you what they eat here. Firstly, there's pepper. Everything is made with pepper. This pepper is from the neighboring gardens. I've seen how it grows nearby. And that's some rice boiling there, you see? And just take a look at how many gas rings we have here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 huge pans. Again, that's for cases when there are a lot of new initiates, although technically they make the same thing. Here's the pumpkin that we eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Chinese call this Chinese zucchini, although it's not actually zucchini as it grows on a tree. Now, as I'm told, the good thing about it is that it's edible, but also when it becomes old and shrivels up, when it blackens, it can be used as a sponge for cleaning dishes. All food in the Shaolin is naturally vegetarian. Now this, guys, this is the true centerpiece of the Shaolin Monastery, the training area. This is where genuine training exercises are carried out on this square, not on the main one. They only do training sessions for show on the main square, when they put on all the garments and costumes. But this is the training hall, because it has all of the weaponry and mats and so on. But most often, we train here in the open air. You can do pull-ups here. Look at the bars. The hardest part for sure is here, doing push-ups on the concrete. Honestly, it hurts your fists. So believe me when I say that doing it on this ribbed concrete, or whatever they call the surface, is far more painful than on ground, wood, or even on standard concrete, because all of these curvatures stick right into your knuckles. On top of that, when you lay your fists down, the master is watching. If you put it down like this, you see, with your thumbs helping you out, then bam, you can get a stick to your spine straight off, like in a flash. So first, you need to tense your fists like normal, place them down properly, and put your weight on your fists. That's already painful. Then you need to lower yourself down. And the real tearjerker is pushing yourself back up. Now, just look at how my fists are afterwards. They're just covered everywhere in bruises. And you do that 20 times, morning, day, and night. While I was walking around the monastery, I was suddenly called by the Shifu. I thought he wanted to show me something, but it turned out that he wanted to show me rather than show something to me. A police officer had come to the monastery and began questioning us. Stanislav.
Stas.
He punched our names into somewhere, still giving us a rather friendly smile. I already thought I was a goner. Shifu, meanwhile, well, just look, he hadn't come up from his phone.
You know why he's here? He's seen his socials. You know why he's here? He's seen that Shaolin master. What he's posted. The photo was on the internet. He saw it and came here to find out who we are and why we're here.
Well, honestly, I overdid it from the beginning.
Yeah, I saw it on your face. Your eyes are like wild.
You know, I came in and I was like, okay, so this is happening. The teacher called Iris, and she says, well, come here, please. We'll talk everything over. So we're going, thinking that the teacher, I guess, wants to say something to us as a farewell gesture. And then the police officer just sits down and says something to me in Chinese. And I didn't understand a thing. And they're chatting between themselves, and I'm just like...
I mean, I'm already used to it, like, seriously used to it. I'm all calm, it's all good. I mean, I've been here for 7 years. I often get this kind of thing. No joke.
The police officer came because the monastery hadn't registered me, yet noticed that he didn't take me to the station, and he didn't even check my documents. It was enough for him to just take a photo of me. Well, bearing in mind that the Chinese authorities have the biometrics of everyone in the country, why would he need my documents? I don't really feel like leaving. Although I've only spent 3 days here, I kind of got used to this monasterial setup. Getting up, praying, then eating breakfast, training, and so on. I just took a walk, looked around here, and said my goodbyes to everyone. It's kind of sad to be saying goodbye.